Hello, the student of class 11. Today we will read the last lesson of the Hornbill's book, Lesson 8, Silk Road. This part of the lesson taken from the lesson of the journey, a travelogue of the authors, a short traveling of the place Ravu to a small mount Blaze to Darchen. The author wanted to go to see the sanctity and spirituality of the mount of the lake मानसरोवर. कवि लेखक उस मानसरोवर झील की आध्यात्मिकता और पवित्रता को देखने के लिए गया था, लेकिन वो अपनी यात्रा के दौरान एक छोटे से भाग को राबू के स्थान से लेकर के और उस पहाड़ी गांव के दार्शन स्थान के बारे में ही वो बताता है. नाउ लेट्स स्टार्ट लेसन. ए फ्लॉलेस हाफ मून फ्लोटेड इन ए प्रिफर blue sky. On the morning we said our goodbye, extended months of the clouds like long French lobes glowed pink as the sun emerged in its place. The distant mountain tops with a rose-tinted blush. Now that we were leaving Ravu, Lama said she wanted to give me a farewell present. One evening I had told her through Daniel that I was heading towards Mount Kailash to complete the Korah, and she had said that I ought to get some warmer clothes. After ducking back into her tent, she emerged carrying one of the long-sleeved sheepskin coats that all the men wore. Essen seized me up as we clambered into his car. Hey, yes, he declared. Broka. Sir, in the first paragraph of this, the authors describe about the beautiness of that place, and also describe when the party began to departure. The Tibetan woman Lama gave a sheepskin's long coat to avoid the cold. वो लेखक इस जगह हमें उस स्थान की सुंदरता के बारे में बता रहा है कि किस तरह से वो स्थान सुंदर था. और जब वो पार्टी वहां से विदा होने लगी तो लामा एक तिब्बती औरत थी जो लेखक को एक भेड़ के खाल से बना हुआ एक कोट देती है कि उसे उपहार में, जो सभी लोग पहने होते हैं सर्दी से बचने के लिए. As we took a short cut off get of the Tang, Tesson knew it rude that to take us southwest almost directly towards Mount Kailash. It involved crossing several fairly high mountain passages. He said, but no problem, sir. He assured us if there is no snow, what was the likelihood of that? I asked. No, not knowing, sir, until we get there. माउंट कैलाश को उन्होंने शॉर्टकट का रास्ता लिया. जो उनका वो जो गाइडर था वो टेस्टन उस शॉर्टकट को जानता था. जब ऑथर ने, लेखक ने उससे ये पूछा कि कब तक हम पहुंच जाएंगे, तो कह रहे हैं इसके बारे में कुछ नहीं कहा जा सकता. अगर बर्फ न गिरना शुरू हुई तो. फ्रॉम द जेंटली रोलिंग हिल्स ऑफ द राबू the shortcut took us across vast open plains with nothing in them except a few gazelles that would took up from nibbling the arid pastures and frowned before bounding away into the wide. Further on, where the plains become more stony than grassy, a great herd of wild eyes came into view. The Teston told us we were approaching them long before they appeared calm. he said, pointing towards a far-off pall of dust. When we drew near, I could see the herd galloping en masse, wheeling and turning in tight formation as if they were practicing maneuvers on some predetermined course. Plumes of dust billowed into the crisp, clean air when they became the rolling round, जब वो रोलिंग घुमावदार पहाड़ियों के राबू के पास पहुंचे और एक खुले से मैदान में आते हैं, तब वहाँ वो हिरणों के झुंड के समूह को देखते हैं और थोड़ी दूर पर वो जंगली गधों को देखते हैं। जैसे ही उनकी कार पहुंचती है, वो एक बड़ी धूल का गुब्बार उड़ाती हुई दूर निकल जाती हैं। As hills started to push up once more from the rocky wilderness, we passed solitary Strokeles, Drokas, tending their flocks, sometimes the men, sometimes the women. These well-wrapped figures would pause and stare at our car, occasionally waving as we passed. When the track took us close to the animals, the sheep would take evasive action, veering away from the speeding wheels. जब लेखक उन चट्टाने भरी रास्तों से, जब उस पर जहाँ आदमी निवास करते टाइबेटन रहते थे वहां पहुंचता है, तो देखता है कि कुछ औरतें, कुछ पुरुष कुछ दूर पर उनकी कार को देखते हैं, कुछ लोग उस पर हाथ हिलाते हैं। जो लोग चरागाह को उनके लिए जो चरवाहे इनके होते थे, और भेड़ें जैसे ही तेज आती हुई गाड़ी को देखती, वो बड़ी जल्दी से दूसरी तरफ वो अपने को बचने के लिए निकल जाती। We pass Normands, this is the kind of a caste which lives in the forest, जिसे हम आज फिल्मों में और कहीं बंजारों के नाम से जानते हैं। Normands, dark tent pitched in splendid isolation, usually with a large black dog, a Tibetan Mastiff standing guard. These beasts would cock their great big heads when they became aware of our approach and fix us in their sides as we continued to draw closer. They would explode into action, speeding directly towards us like a bullet from a gun and nearly at his. जैसे ही वो उस बंजारे के काले टेंट के पास से निकली, तो तिब्बती मैस्टिफ, जिसे हंटर डॉग कहते हैं, जो काले रंग के होते थे, बड़े भयानक आकार के, वो लेखक की गाड़ी की तरफ भागते हुए ऐसे आए जैसे कि बंदूक से निकली हुई बुलेट हो। These saggy monster, blacker than the darkest nights, usually wore bright red colors and barked ferociously and massive jaws. They were completely fearless of our vehicles, shooting straight into our path, causing stands to break and swear. The dog would make chase for 100 meters or so before easing off, having seen us of the prosperity. It wasn't difficult to underestimate why ferocious Tibetan Mastiffs became popular in China's imperial courts as hunting dogs brought along the Silk Road in ancient times in tribute from Tibet. ये बड़े आकार के कुत्ते बड़े शिकारी है, इससे काले होती हैं जैसे काली अंधेरी रात से भी काले होती हैं, जो लाल रंग की पट्टे पहने होते हैं और बड़े भयानक, और उनके बड़े भयानक दिखाई पड़ते हैं, उनके इतनी मजबूत और भयानक जबड़े होते हैं। वो पूरी तरह से निर्भीक होते हैं और गाड़ी के आते हुए पास में आते हैं, लगभग 100 मीटर और इससे दूर तक उन्होंने पीछा किया। कहा जाता है कि ये टाइबेटियन मस्टिफ इतने फेमस थे कि चाइना के शासक इन्हें शिकारी कुत्तों के रूप में पालते थे, और भी वो जो बिजनेसमैन होते थे, इन्हें सिल्क रोड पर प्राचीन समय में तिब्बतियों के यादगार के रूप में और अपनी सुरक्षा के रूप के लिए भी रखा करते थे। By now we could see snow-capped mountain gathering on the horizon. We entered a valley where the river was wide and mostly clogged with ice, brilliant white and gleaming in the sunshine. The trail hugged to the bank, twisting with the meanders as we gradually gained height and the valley sides closed in. जब हम वहां पर पहुंचे तो पूरी 6 जगह और वो बर्फ फैली हुई थी, बर्फ की नदी थी, जो बर्फ एक नदी थी जो बर्फ से बिल्कुल ढकी हुई थी। जब सूर्य का प्रकाश उस पर पड़ता था तो वो कितनी चमकती, लाल रंग की चमकती थी। The turns become sharper and the right bumper hastened now in third gear as we continued to climb. The track moved away from the icy river, laboring through the steeper slopes that sported big rocks daubed with patches of bright orange lichen. Beneath the rocks, bunks of snow clung on in the near apparent shade. I felt the pressure building up my ears, held my nose and snorted and cleared them. We surged round another tight bend and Easton stopped. He had opened the door and jumped out of the seat before I realized what was going on. Snow, said Daniel as he too excited the vehicle, letting in a fourth of the cold air as we said in the remaining section of the lesson. The writer denoting about the twisted and the most dangerous track of the mountain Kailash mountain, but the author could not reach there because there is a natural problem and cold and natural problems. He admitted in the Tibetan Medical Center for 5 days and began to eat 5 days Tibetan medicine. After that, without completing his journey, he returned from the village of the Darchen to the Rabu place. Now, see the summary of the lesson. The lesson Silk Road is an extract from the author's travelogue. Here the author describes only a small part of his journey from Rabu, a small mountain village, to Darchen, which is at the foot of Mount Kailash. The journey describes the scenic beauty of the mountain, the nomad in splendid isolation, and the Tibetan mastiff, which were popular in China as hunting dogs. The author's experience at Lake Mansarovar was in stark contrast to the experience of other travelers. For him, the place was depressing, dispersing, and uninspiring. The sanctity and spirituality of the Lake Mansarovar fails to make an impact on the author because author became the victim of some cold infection. Sanctity and spirituality of the Lake Mansarovar fails to make an impact on the author. The author's stay in Darchen is marked by his nocturnal fear of death. His visit to Darchen medical college and undergoing 5 days course of Tibetan medicine. The second thought of author had been developed about the Kora were dispelled after his meeting with Norbu, a Tibetan working in Beijing at the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences. Neither was he a practicing Buddhist, nor was he well equipped for the pilgrimage. You watch the video and you have to write the summary of the lesson. After that follow. Let's see the question. Question number 1. Who was Lama? What farewell gift did he give to author? Answer. Lama was Tibetan woman who had set up a tent for pilgrims near Rabu. She was honest and helpful. She gave a long-sleeved sheep skin coat as a farewell gift. Question number 2. Why did the party come across after leaving Rabu? Answer. From the gently rolling hills of Rabu, the author's car came to vast open plains. They saw a few antelope grazing, and further on they saw a herd of wild ass. Raising a pall of dust as the car approached them, they galloped away. Question 3. What does the author tell you about Tibetan Mastiffs? The Tibetan Mastiffs were huge black dogs with rough hair. They were very ferocious. They barked furiously and appeared fearlessly in front of the vehicle for their very qualities. They became popular in China's imperial court as a hunting dog. Now, understanding the second text, the second part, briefly comment on question number 1, 2 and 3. 3 and 4 you have to complete as your homework. Now your lesson has completed.